Let's just try it. Trying on wedding dresses for the first time. I hate to see her go, but I love to watch her leave. Me and Remy gave each other little boops on the nose. Definitely recommend the Substance. 2 thumbs up from me. Hey everyone, happy Monday and welcome back to the channel. It is a new week. The 2-week event of the Old Gold Power Plant is behind us now. And we have a bit of just a chill week until the Halloween event comes up next week. That was a lot of weeks in one sentence, but let's see what I caught, or what I'm going to catch hopefully, for the sleep research. So, yet again I did not break my personal best at Greengrass this week, which is a little sad. I actually missed lunchtime yesterday because I was playing with Remy, so that is unfortunate, but I had so much fun, so I have videos and stuff to share with you guys. So we have a grub in there, which is really good though. I'm very happy to see that there. Oh, we got the Drifloon that's back. And that's the second Togekiss I've encountered now. It's sleeping upside down. So I definitely want to throw a biscuit at the Drifloon as well as the Grubbin. I have one Grubbin out right now on my team. It's not one that I would invest in, but it's just one that's collecting coffee for the time being. And I did not have enough ingredients to make the bigger salad that released when the new 6 ingredients came out. Heracross, I completed the sleep decks, which is good. It's been a while since I've seen a pincer though. So I need one more for Vigoroth. Alright. Let's see, how far is Drifloon? Drifloon is quite some ways away, but priority wise, I would rather get the Grubbin. I want some of those coffee beans. I did unlock the cross chop salad, but yeah, there's just one more salad for me to unlock now. I haven't had a dessert week in weeks, so haven't been able to look at, oh no, it's full. Of course it would be full. How annoying. And I'm just gonna give one to Drifloon because I don't want to use my Great Biscuit, to be honest. I'm holding that off for another opportunity. But it looks like that's gonna be that. Unfortunately, no catches for me this Monday. But in terms of portrait, I definitely will do a Grubbin so that you guys can get more Grubbin candies. You know what, I think even if I didn't miss my lunchtime yesterday, I probably still wouldn't have broke my personal best unless I got really lucky with a crit. But my area bonus increased to 70 now. So I believe that is the max that it could get to right now. Unless I am wrong or mistaken, someone please correct me. But yeah, as you can see, those are the weekly roundup. I got an S grade though, so that's good. Got some more candies. And I kind of want to go here. You know what? Let's just try it. We're gonna feel defeated, but it's okay. So we're gonna go to the Old Gold Power Plant. I'm gonna download a new song for it. It's my first time going since the release. Curries and stews, okay. Not bad. Still no desserts though. But at least I could work on unlocking the 2 new curry recipes. It's been a while since I've taken out my Vaporeon, but oh, that was so disappointing. I took it out because I was hoping that it would trigger its skill so I could get a bunch of random Pokemons just to set my week up right, but I guess not. So I would love to make the Inferno curry, but I cannot due to pot size limitations. So we're gonna go with our trusty Ninja Salad. I'm so tired of looking at Ninja Salad and Ninja Curries for the longest time. Oh, whoops, let me just add more. I forget that my Ninja Salads are 57 ingredients. Ninja Curries are only 50 though, so I have to I got a crit. That's so good. It's gonna set us up for a good head start. Okay, so after I trigger my Wigglytuff skill, I'm going to switch out my team. But yeah, look at that little baby grubbin. Looks like it's wearing a onesie, which is why it's like so cute. Alright, so this brings me to basic 3. I do not know why I said 5. Let me collect my sleep points first. And my daily gift, which is a dream cluster. Alright, so we're gonna switch our team out. This is the electric team I was thinking about, but because I have some dishes that I need to make, these Pokemon clearly do not really, they won't do the work. So let me just remind myself, Ninja Curry requires, oops, wrong one still. Oh, here it is, curry. So I need beans, I need mushrooms, I need leeks, and I need green grass soybean. So you know what, I probably cannot even use my Raikou, so I'm just gonna keep it here for now. I'm gonna bring out my Gengar, swap this out for my Leek Farmer, and that probably leaves me with space for just one electric type Pokemon. Actually, I forget, Ghost type is also a favorite berry, so it's good that I have my Gengar on there. I can go with a bug type. Sorry, not bug type. Steel type, but I don't have a good steel type Pokemon. So I have Jupiter here, which is a triple berry finder because of the, well, it finds 3 instead of 2 because I have the berry finding and helping bonus on it. These are the stats if anyone's interested. Haven't raised it ever since, but I used it for the Raikou research event. And perhaps that is what we will do. 12k RP, which is 4k under our 16k required or recommended RP for this map, rather. I'm good on beans for now, so it seems like it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Leeks, I know I should keep my Quaquaval there because he farms a little slow on Leeks, to be honest. And then Golem, I definitely need it there because the recipe takes quite an amount of beans. Let's see, can I level him up? Yes, I can. So Bean Dude is now level 39. Let's see. Can level up my Deopside as well. Level 59, 1 away from max, which is nice. Which means I can get an insane amount of mushrooms. But do I want to use all my handy candies for that? I'll think about it. And then my Eve Saint Laurent cannot level. Jupiter, I don't really feel like I want to fully invest in him, so we're just gonna leave it there. But these are the Pokemon. So we saw this one together, these two catches. This was a critical capture. And I caught another Aeron during the weekend, and it yet again is completely mixed ingredient list. I thought the level 60 ingredient slot was coffee because of the shape of the ingredient, but no. It is green grass soybean, which is kind of sad. Let me just lower my brightness a little bit. That should be better. Sometimes I feel like it helps with the lighting not reflect off my face too much. But yeah, with the new change of season and the sunrise coming in at a different time, it is making the lighting situation a little tricky to play with. I feel like in my other videos, the lighting was just so much better. So we got an award for reaching basic 3 at the power plant, which is nice. Let's get started on our sleep research. See what everyone see what everyone got. Vale and I grew closer. Congratulations if you're hearing this. And here is my matcha of the day. Look at that gorgeousness, that foam on the top. Beautiful. Let's mix it together. Making matcha is definitely that therapeutic moment for me during the day where I just take a pause and take that moment for myself. Whisking the matcha is something that I've really learned to enjoy as well. Before I used the electric whisk, and maybe like some of you guys were like watching a lot of videos making yourselves believe that the electric whisk could do perfectly fine, but from someone who has graduated from an electric whisk, let me tell you, you do not get the same amount of foam as you do if you're just hand whisking it. There's something about the hand whisk for the matcha that just makes it perfectly foamy. I think with the electric whisk though, you do get all the clumps out, but I can definitely tell a difference after I'm done mixing my matcha, the difference between the electric whisk one and the hand whisk one. So, you know, sometimes you just gotta do what tradition has been doing for the longest time. But we're gonna take a sip. Cheers. Delicious. So let me get into the details of what my weekend was like. Friday, I was hanging out at a friend's place. We had dinner together, and it was a lot of fun. She hosted me, and I felt so taken care of. Viewing her space, the views were phenomenal and everything as well. Her boyfriend made us fish, but then he went off to ride his motorcycle at the race court. So that is like his hobby. And so yeah, it was just me and her, and it was a lot of fun, and we just talked about like, you know, anything and everything, mainly about what's been up since the last time we've met. I talked a lot about Remy. I talked a lot about current state of certain things that are being talked about on social media, like the Did He Do It stuff, the whole Beyonce conspiracy. Yeah, if you're down that rabbit hole, you probably know what I'm talking about. I'm so glad Stephanie Sue finally, oh my gosh, Asuka, congrats on the shiny Charmeleon. It's like a beautiful tangerine color. But yeah, I am so glad that Stephanie Sue made a video that is going to cover the entire Diddy stuff. And she is so well researched. She has a team that helps her out on that and everything. Oh, what a beautiful team. So I just know she's gonna cover a lot of details. It's gonna be fact check. A lot of it is still like speculation and stuff until, you know, things get through the court. But I just trust her when it comes to the videos. So I'm very excited to watch her take on it, what her and her team found. And it's gonna be several parts. I hear that the court, in-person court date for Diddy's case is supposed to happen in 2025 of May, I believe. But yeah, so I had a lovely evening with her, my friend. Then I came home, hung out with my boyfriend for a bit, and then on Saturday was a bit of a girls' day. It was more like a day for my best friend because she is a fiance, soon to be Mrs., and she was trying on wedding dresses for the first time. And it was so much fun. Definitely though, I can see the pressures of being the bride and having to try on dresses because it's so overstimulating, overwhelming. You come in with an idea in mind of what you want, and then you try it on and maybe it's not exactly what you anticipated, and then you're trying on different silhouettes and materials and fabrics, and you realize that there are certain elements or qualities of dresses you would never have tried on, but after trying it on you realize that you actually like that silhouette on you. So that was basically my friend's experience, and I was like, you know what, this is not a wasted time. You know exactly what you like and don't like in a dress now, and now we can move forward with even better research tools in mind. But overall it was so fun. She let us choose dresses that we would like her to try on as well. So my game plan when doing that was not so much what I want her to see, or I want to see her wear based on what I like and my personal style, because you know, personal style is so like unique to you. So luckily she showed me some dresses of what she wanted to wear, or like what her dream dress was before going in the shop. So I took mental notes of what it was that what it could be about that dress that she liked. Muse Eternal, congrats on the shiny swallow. It's so beautiful. Sorry, I need to clear my throat a little bit. But yeah, I took a mental memo of what her ideal dress looked like. So when I was choosing out dresses for her to try, it was more like, what are elements or like the essential essence of the original dress she really wanted to try, and how can I find that in other dresses, but still in a way where I can let her play around with different bodices, different skirt silhouettes, different materials, different, yeah, just like a little bit different, you know, but not entirely different where it's like completely left field. I will say there was one completely left field dress that I had her, that I wanted to see her try, just because you don't know, you know, and I feel like if it's a no during that process, it's not a bad thing. It's just one step closer to knowing what you completely don't like or like. And Wei found a shiny Quaxwell. Congrats. Look at his shiny, or her. Actually, I don't know, because I can't read that, so I don't know if it's like even a name or something that implies gender. Like, you know, with Amy, at least you can kind of tell that it's like a female leaning name. But yeah, Wei, I don't know. But they have a shiny Ninetales and it's so beautiful. And if you like have that Quaxwell on the team, it's like shades of pale colors, you know, and it's so pretty. But yeah, going back to my whole thing. So I had her try a satin ball gown. It was kind of a corset top with exposed boning. Beautiful silhouette. I know it was totally different from what she wanted, but surprisingly when she tried it on, initially she was like, do I have to try this on? I really don't want to. Well, that's the first time I saw a Vikavolt. And because it's the first time I saw one, I don't even remember what they look like, shiny and non-shiny. So yeah, she was like, I do not want to try this, but I'm like, bitch, just try it. You never know. She tries it on, lo and behold, she was like, you know what? I'm not mad at it. And that was, I think, the dress that made her realize that she wasn't really looking for mermaid or A-line when it comes to the skirt, but she does like tulle, and she does like when there's enough material at the waist at the end of the waist where it meets the skirt, where it adds a little poof element. So not completely ball gown, but that poof of it, whereas A-line kind of completely just drapes down the body, and mermaid hugs your curves before it flares out at the end near the calves or like mid thighs. Not calves, knees or mid thighs usually for mermaid. So yeah, she was shocked because initially, oh, this is Fabian's shiny Aeron. Congrats, because I know because he switched the portrait too. So that is a shiny Aeron. And congratulations, Fabian. Look at his detonates. Damn. But yeah, initially she thought like mermaid was what she wanted to get. And then A-line after trying some A-line dresses. But then after trying that ballroom dress, she really likes corseted tops with a fluffy, bouncy, oh my god, Loonfloon. A lot of you guys are getting shinies today. That is crazy. But congrats on the Cramorant. We are now twinning because I have one too. Yeah, she likes a corset top, a tulle skirt, but a bit of a poof so that it's not just draping down at the waist, but creating more of a puff at the waist, but not too much of a ball gowned look. So back to the drawing board, and she was able to really narrow down her research to look for dresses that fit that criteria. And when she was showing me some through text, it is a lot more what I think she was aiming for, you know, but she just didn't know because she hasn't tried it on or seen it visually. But now she knows, and now she's like way closer into finding her dream dress. So she's continuing to do research, and she's looking at some boutiques in the area that carry those dresses, and we're probably gonna go dress shopping again, maybe like in a week or two. So I'm very excited to see round 2 of her dress journey and, you know, be there for her on her journey as well. So I took a lot of videos, a lot of pictures from different angles, just so that she can also see what the back looks like, because I noticed that there weren't any mirrors behind her, so she can't really see the full effect of how beautiful the back was, how lengthening it made her body look, and just overall like how grand certain trains look like. And it was truly like some dresses, the train was so beautiful, it was like a take your breath away moment, and also like a I hate to see her go, but I love to watch her leave type of vibe. And yeah, it was just so much fun being there and experiencing that for this huge moment of her life. Although I can definitely tell it got to the point where she was really overstimulated at the end. There were so many options, and I think also when you come in with the expectation of like, this is what my dream dress is and I'm gonna try it and I'm hopefully gonna say yes to it, only to later realize that when you try it on, it didn't take your breath away the way you wanted to, and you felt like there's something lacking. So yeah, I can understand like the disappointment in that when you had something in mind and like you just have to kind of get past that and, you know, start your research over. But I'm glad that she was able to fully decide what it is she wants instead of settling and being iffy and feeling like there's something missing with her current dress, you know? But all the dresses she tried on were absolutely gorgeous, and I don't know, maybe one day once the wedding is done I could show you guys, if she allows me of course, options that she tried on, and I could give you like my little like fashion input on the thought process behind the journey for her, what it was like deciding or trying on different dresses. Although it wasn't my experience, you know, but I feel like sometimes as the bridal party there's definitely an etiquette that you should uphold for yourself, especially when it comes to giving opinion or how to react and how to just be there for the bride. So that was a fun experience. And then we had dinner afterwards, which was really fun. And then we also headed over to my cousin's house later just to end the night there and chat as well. So I probably didn't get home until maybe 11, almost midnight. But it was a full day full of fun. And then the next day on Sunday, as you guys know, I went to meet my precious, well, not mine. I bought the kitten for my mom, but my mom's precious baby angel kitten, Remy. And he is doing so well. He is so adventurous. And it was like I saw a different kitten, you guys, compared to the first time I've met him. The first several times I've met him. And he was just such a shy boy, and you know, he didn't really want to like explore too much. He was even shy when playing with his toys. Although he had so much fun playing it with his toys, I could tell there was just this like shyness to him, like he was kind of holding back a little. But this time when he was playing with his toys, he was like belly fully exposed, having the time of his life. We have this old bed mattress in his room because it is old, like 20-ish years old, but it still looks pretty clean because it was well maintained. So for now, my family was just storing it in Remy's room. But Remy used to climb or scale the mattress, and then he would get too scared to climb down, so he would meow until someone rescues him, right? So my little sister had to put like cardboard boxes to prevent him from getting to the top ledge of the bed. And afterwards, he just got more courageous and more brave, and now he's able to get down from the top of the bed by himself. So I was able to watch that, and I was like, oh my god, he's so brave, he's so courageous, he's so smart,
and you're so sweet, and you're so precious, and you're so cute, and you're so kind, and you're so funny, and you're so courageous, and you're so smart, and you're so funny, and you're so cute. Oh, look at that. Oh, you like that? The cute one.
And I'm just like so happy seeing his journey, you know. And we came around the afternoon time, so that was around the feeding time. So I was able to prepare his meal and give him his plate of food and watch him eat. And it was the most precious thing ever. And I saw him use his litter box, and I also cleaned out his litter box, just like scooping the dirty stuff out. My little sister did a deep clean of the litter box before we came there, so I was like really proud of her. But one thing I noticed, after I scooped out Remy's dirty stuff from the litter box, he started running back into his litter box and like digging as if he was like looking for something. And I was like, does he usually do that? And then my little sister was like, yeah, he doesn't really like it when we scoop out like his number 1 and number 2. And I'm like, oh, it's probably because of the scent marking or something like that. But yeah, that's like the whole litter box thing. He's playing so much with his toys, he's so adventurous, and he's like slowly discovering the rest of the house. I remember there was this one moment where he took like several steps out of his room, and then he just looked back at us as if he was like, are you guys coming, you know? But we didn't come with him, so he came back in the room. But then like later we would explore places with him, and when he leaves the room, he would hide a lot under the furniture in the kitchen or the living room. So I feel like he's still very shy, but it's seeing his willingness to explore that is like, oh my god, that is the most precious thing ever. And when my boyfriend was scratching his head, he purred, and I was like, oh my god, that is so cute. He purred at you. Oh, and me and Remy gave each other little boops on the nose, so that was like a very fun moment as well. Unfortunately, I don't have any videos of that though, so a little bummed out about that, but it was the most precious thing. Like, I held him, and then I put my nose near him, and then he reached out his nose, and then it was a little boop, and it was, my heart melted, you guys. So I really had such a blast hanging out with my family, hanging out with Remy, and it was a sad moment to go. But I took a lot of, well, not a lot, I took like a good handful of videos and pictures. I wish I took more, but at the same time, I didn't want to be on my phone the entire time taking videos of him. But I took enough where I know that during our time away, I'm gonna have enough footage and videos to look back at it and be like, oh, what a cute boy. So yeah, that was our Sunday. We came home, and then we decided we wanted to go watch a movie. So we actually watched The Substance. It is currently out in theaters, and I really like it, you guys. I feel like it is such a good way to spark a discussion around aging, especially amongst women. And it's so interesting to see female perspective compared to male perspective, especially in certain scenes where men, because they aren't socialized a certain way, the way that women are. I remember there were some moments in the movie where my boyfriend was like, what is she doing? Like, why is she doing that? I don't get it. But as a girl growing up, having these messages thrown to me in the face through media and such, I totally understood certain scenes and empathized with the actress during certain scenes as well. I won't go into certain details in case some of you guys are interested in watching it, because I don't want to spoil it. But I think it's just so well done. Demi Moore is the leading actress in it. And I, as a woman watching it, I kind of feel a lot more comforted with the idea of aging a lot more. Although it's definitely something that I've come to terms with as I reached my 30s, because, you know, I was so scared. And with a lot of products being thrown to you, especially targeted towards women, where it's like 7-step skincare routine, anti-aging, firming, skin elasticity, and then there's like the salmon sperm DNA thing going on in Korea. There's just so much thrown at women when it comes to chasing the fountain of youth. But it's also important to let yourself accept aging, because it's just a natural course of life. And that's why when I heard that Pamela Anderson would show up to certain events with no makeup on and not having a glam team, I was like, wow, because how often do you see that amongst women showing up to certain events like this? And it's really showing you what mature skin looks like and what just mature women look like. And I feel that is so healthy, because definitely for me, when I heard that and I saw it, it made me feel so much more at peace and not so scared with aging the way that I was before. I feel like I've come to an acceptance of aging, but there's definitely that part of me that was still scared of it, just because I was afraid of what I was going to look like, you know? But then when I'm looking at these older women and seeing how beautiful they still are, growing into their maturity, I was like, wow, you know? So that makes me feel a lot less afraid. Although there's definitely still that like vanity aspect where you want to prevent as much as you can when you can. So I'm just trying to let myself enjoy what I have now, and always remember that this is the best that this is the best it'll be, and it'll continue getting better. But also to remind myself that if I feel bad about myself for how I look now, imagine 20 years later when I look back at my pictures of me now and I'm like, you had so much going on for you, like what were you insecure about, you know? So yeah. And I know that men deal with this too as well when it comes to issues of aging, because I have seen some conversations of it, although I don't feel that it's at a large scale the same way it is for women, just due to all the messaging that we get when we were younger. And yeah, it was just, I feel like the message being portrayed in the substance was very well done. The whole it's so hard to not like get too much into the context of what happens, but I think the whole conversation around and like not taking for granted what you have now, and just living every day for what it is, and not constantly holding on to, you know, what it was back then, because then that's how you're always going to chase for something that you can't have, you know? There was this one makeup scene that really struck out to me, because I think also when I watched it, there was a reminder of how mature makeup looks different, or makeup on mature skin, the techniques used are different. And I only know this because sometimes I watch videos of like makeup artists being like, what to do on mature skin or 60 plus skin, and they would talk about how there's certain techniques that you have to do that require a bit more attention, or different techniques just because the skin is different and everything. But in that scene, I'm reminded of moments where even myself, when I do makeup nowadays, sometimes I'm like, what was it about it when I was in my early 20s and my makeup just looked different? And honestly, it's just because my face was different. Like as you age, You have a loss of collagen or facial fat. You lose your baby fat, elasticity as well. You get your smile lines that come in, which are beautiful badges of proof that you've lived such a well-laughed life, you know. But then you get into that pressure where it's like your marionette line ages you, because if the sunlight hits it a certain way, it casts a shadow, and it does kind of look like a more aged look. So some people would conceal and brighten the areas just to minimize the effects of how it looks like. I do hear some people say that they get filler on their smile lines, although I would recommend you do not do that. To be honest, I was kind of tempted at one point too to do that, but upon a lot of research, I just think it's not the best option, especially with the migration and everything. That's how you start getting that like puffy pillow face that people talk about when it comes to filler and Botox. But at the end of the day, you do you. Like, everyone is entitled to do what they want to do. I just think you really have to think long and hard and do your research, you know? And also a lot of it too, especially if you're young girls listening to this, take some time to grow into your features, you know? And I say this because when I was at my friend's house on Sunday, I was looking through old photos with them. And when I was looking at photos from like 2013, 2016, mine, like if you were to see side by side pictures of my nose, I think people would have thought I had like a very subtle nose surgery. But I didn't. I just grew into my nose, and I never knew what that meant until I compared pictures back and forth. But I do have to say that one thing about aging that I heard is that your nose, your ears, and your hands continue to grow bigger. So I don't know if it's just like the fact that it grew bigger that it changed the shape, which kind of makes sense. But yeah, you decide for yourself based on those photos. But yeah, this is getting to be a lengthy video. I really recommend you guys watch The Substance if you haven't yet. I feel like it's a good movie for all people to watch, really. And especially for men to watch, so that you can really understand certain aspects of your female friends when it comes to things. And yeah, it was just, I loved it. I think it's classified as like a thriller movie. It wasn't scary. I guess actually scary is subjective. But yeah, highly recommend. I totally enjoyed it. I can go on and on about it. It was just so, there's so many imagery and certain things that they purposely put in the movie. Like, okay, one last thing I'll say. There was this one scene where there was like an event going on. There's a whole room of white old men, some women, and then there was one family that brought in their little daughter because the daughter was a fan of a certain character in the movie. And that's the only girl you see there. But then on the stage you see like those I don't know if it's flappers, but you know the ones that like dance like that, kind of cabaret style, I guess, but basically like their chest is exposed. And when I saw that, I was like, you know, it really drives home the fact that a lot of young girls at that age are just exposed to it at such a young age, and then you look at that and you idolize it and the cycle continues. You're shown what a certain standard looks like and what the expectation of you is based on society. And yeah, phenomenal storytelling, I must say. But that is my weekend. Thank you guys so much for joining me in yet another video with my ramble. Let me clear my throat. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. I hope you enjoyed the ramble. If you have any thoughts or questions, let me know as well. Definitely recommend The Substance. 2 thumbs up from me. And if you haven't yet, like, comment, or subscribe on the video. Join us in the Discord if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, take care, good luck, and have fun. Bye.